It's ironic that we're in a theater. Some of the stupidest things I ever said in my life are in a theater. You know, I said it to Christine, the amazing woman that I live with. All those years ago, in a small black box theater at Suffolk University, I said, I am New York. I am theater. I'm going to New York. Christine said,
David, we agreed to go to California. I really want to go to California. You can act in California. They make movies there, don't they?
my reply was even more stupid. I said, New York is theater. I am theater. I am New York. That was that. She met some other guys. I met some other women. I suppose you want the details. This is the face of a man who has screwed up a lot. This is the face of a man who has screwed up a lot. A one-night stand with a stripper, a hairstylist, a bartender, a waitress can make you feel pretty good for a while. But love? Never. My dad used to tell me that once you've lost someone, really lost them, you can never get them back. I didn't know what he meant until Christine. You ever think what it would be like to find your soulmate, give that person up, and never ever see them again? I did. I lived it. Worst yet, I wake up every single day, look at her with this fear, this deep-seated neurotic fear that she's going to catch on to me and take off, just the way I did. I obsess about it. It's like life is one big joke and I'm the punchline.
That doesn't make any sense.
Of course it doesn't make any sense, Coach. Nothing makes any sense.
Then what's the point?
I got some mental debris in my head that I got to work out. You know, it's screwed up. It's broken. But if something's really broken, I mean really broken, why bother to fix it? I mean, why not just accept that it's broken, you know?
Tell the story.
It was college. She was intelligent, compassionate, a total knockout.
How did you meet?
Sophomore year, my first acting class, Professor Wilkins. He cast me in a play as a gay character, a male hustler.
Do you remember the name of the play?
Street Life. It was written by one of Wilkins' graduate students. Well, Wilkins wanted me to do the research, and I was up for the challenge of the research, so he introduced me to this gay kid named Ronnie. Ronnie and I became great friends. Ronnie showed me the whole lifestyle, the clubs, the bars, everything. The whole time Ronnie keeps telling me that I have to meet his twin sister. Said she was a real knockout.
So that's it. That's how you met?
No, not right away. The play came and went. One night, Ronnie and I were in this bar near campus, you know, and there's this beautiful blonde woman standing at the bar. All these guys are around her. It's like she's holding court. So Ronnie's nudging me in the ribs, and he says, "That's my sister." So, you know, she turns around with a drink in one hand, a cigarette in the other.
Come on and dance with me. You're the only straight guy in the place.
It was all over.
That sounds like fun.
It was a blast. We were together from that night on. About 6 weeks later, we got a place together. But you know how hard it was to keep other guys away from her?
And that was your job?
She and I would go out. Other guys would hit on her right in front of me, like I was invisible, not even there.
I don't think you're ready for a relationship. If you can't handle a beautiful woman getting hit on by a couple of guys, then you weren't exactly stable.
Probably right.
So how did it end?
I told you already. The theater crap. I told Christine. I basically told her, That the life. I basically told her I was too good for her.
She went her way and you went yours.
Yeah, I was in the village, and, you know, the drugs and the women were fast and loose. Freeze their nose and everything else followed. I was really screwed up. I realized I had just made a big mess of everything. I started writing Christine letters. I mean real letters. And I wrote some pretty raw stuff.
And? No response?
She was still living in Boston, and I got her on the phone one time, you know, and her doorbell was ringing, and she was getting ready to go on a date. It was this guy. It was the same guy, and I tried to apologize. I got her to cry. The doorbell kept ringing. I said, look, go tell the guy to go home, will you?
So what'd she do?
She married him. Not right away, but shortly thereafter.
Is that the last time you heard from her?
No, there was one other time. She was already living in LA, living in Bel Air with the guy. And she had sent me a letter, and she said that she wasn't all that happy. And she said she felt like a bird in a gilded cage. In the letter, she put her phone number. So I called her on New Year's Eve.
And?
She picked up. First words out of my mouth, so what's it like to be a kept woman?
Whoa.
She realized then and there that I was a real jerk. That was the last time I spoke to her.
That's rough. How did the acting turn out?
New York City? 100 freaking auditions. 98 rejections, 2 callbacks, no gigs. I was miserable.
But life goes on.
Yeah, it does. I moved out to the Midwest. Got married to a woman I tried to make into Christine. Come to think of it, all the women I was involved with, I tried to make into Christine.
How?
I tried to make them better than Christine. But you know, Coach, the problem wasn't with the other women. The problem was with me.
And where was Chris?
She was in LA, living in Bel Air with the jerk. She had 2 kids, a daughter and a son. She had her son about the same time I had my son. Man, I always thought that if Chris and I had those 2 kids together, life would have been so different. We told my son that.
Wait, you told him that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good way to give somebody a head trip.
What do you mean?
Well, you basically told him that he shouldn't have been born, that he should have been someone else's kid, that half his DNA was out of whack. That's a good way to diminish someone's existence.
It was a casual comment.
You told him that his whole life was a mistake, off track, that he should have had a different mom.
You're out of line. You're out of line. You're out of line.
I think it's time you made peace with your past. Didn't you do anything worthwhile your entire life?
Yeah, I raced cars, fast ones. Did triathlons, ran marathons, settled in, got a good job working from home, making decent money, raised my kid as a single dad.
That sounds like a full life.
I was empty. I ended up back at my dad's house, broke and out of work, taking care of the old man as he got older. We built a second house on the property. I settled in again, got a job working from home, making decent money. Miraculously, I got Christine back.
How?
The internet. One of those college reunion class sites, you know? It has its own search engine, so I typed in Christine's name, and I remembered her birth date. Typed that in too. Sure enough, up popped her name with her email address. So I sent her an email. She replied back with her phone number. I stared at that computer screen for 6 hours. I didn't know what to do, what to say, if I should write back. I was helpless. I was overwhelmed, helpless. Didn't know what to do. I sent her my phone number. She called me. We talked on the phone for 6 hours. And we talked every single night for 2 weeks thereafter. All night. And I finally convinced her to come and visit me. Yeah. I begged her. I cajoled her. I did everything I could do to get her to come and visit. Well, she did. She came to visit me and Dad. She stayed with me. I mean, we saw Dad every day. He loved her, and well, I had never stopped. She was here for 2 weeks. We had a blast. She went back to L.A.
Why didn't you move out there with her?
I had Dad to take care of, and I hate L.A. So, you know, I finally just said to her, look, let's give this one more shot. Please give me another chance. Let me make it right to you. Let me make up to you all the hurt. And let me show you that, you know, that I want you. She believed me. And she ended up leasing her house in Malibu, packing up all her stuff, and moving to Rhode Island, to Exeter.
The sparkling jewel of the North.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. You know, this is how terrific she is. The last 2 years of my dad's life, Chris was right there at the hospital, right there at the nursing home. And when Dad passed away, she was right there helping with all the funeral arrangements. As a matter of fact, she made sure that everything was done first class. And Dad would have really appreciated it. And, you know, I'm just really glad that she was there.
Sounds like your dad really loved her.
Yeah, he did. You know what the last thing he said to me was before he died? He said to me, "You got her back."
Sounds like a happy ending.
Is it? Is it? Is it?